Open up your mind to the way, the conscious way, the way of conscious mindfulness. Podcast with me, Sifu Boggie. Hello and welcome to the Saturday show of Sit Down with Sifu on a Saturday. Hello, Saturday. So, just a quick hello. My name is Sifu Boggie. Sifu means guide, means somebody who points you along the way, who guides you on your path. Boggie means the balancer between the chaos and the calmness. And for the last 39 years, I have been studying the Daoist arts. The Tao means the way, the path, the balance. And the Tao contains many different techniques, many different skills like Tai Chi, Tita, Tui Na, massage, reflexology, philosophy, and many, many other techniques. And my goal, my aim is to help others help themselves by finding their own personal way, path, or balance. So this show is about the Tao itself, about the philosophies and techniques of the way, the path, the balance. And this one in particular is about fear and worry, the Tao of fear and worry. So within Daoist philosophy, the balanced way, the balanced path is not a straight line. It's not a scales like we believe in the West of a very linear path. The Tao, the way, the balance is more like a wave. There is an up and there is a down. The bigger the up, the bigger the down. So the objective, the art of the Tao is to get that wave to be like a ripple, like small ups and small downs, that as we go through our day-to-day life, we naturally have ups and downs within our life. And if you can allow yourself to flow with those waves, you will have a more balanced life, a more balanced existence. So what's this got to do with worry and fear and doubt and all these, in a way, negative energies? Well, as I said, the Tao believes that there are natural ups and downs in life. So there will be moments in your day-to-day life, in your life in general, that there will be moments of fear, there will be moments of doubt, there will be moments of worry. And the Taoists believe that when you sort of look at these in sort of a logical way, you look at them in a more open way, you can assess them and you can keep within that flow. Now, we've talked about breath, breathing in the qi and breathing out the cha. So the cha is stress or worry, or quite simply, things you no longer need. So, as I've said before, there are Taoist poems, and there's a particular one that sort of addresses this situation. And it is in this poem a particular word, but you can replace that word with any emotion, especially a negative emotion. And the poem is "Why Worry?" And it says, "Why worry? Why worry about the past? Because it's already happened. Why worry about the future? It hasn't happened yet. So focus on the now. And when in the now, if you're worrying about something that there is nothing you can do, there is no point worrying about it, just because there's nothing you can do. If you're worrying about something that there is something you can do about it, then again, why worry? Because just do what you need to do. Now, with worry can lead to anxiety and stress within the body. That stress leads to tension in the body. That tension leads to illness. And that illness eventually leads to your demise. So why worry? Because it will kill you. So the whole focus of this idea, this concept, is that that unless it's something is serving you, unless something has a benefit for you, what is the point of that? The Taoists, or at least my Sifus, like to use a lot. That's a waste of chi. As in, if you're doing something that is not actually serving you, then it's just a waste of energy. It's a waste of, it's a waste of your vitality, your energy to do that thing. So, for example, with worry or anger, if the worry or the anger leads to you being able to achieve a goal, then that's okay. But if it's not helping you achieve that goal, then what's the point? So let's look back. So why worry about the past? Why be angry about the past? Why over focus on the past? Well, the whole point, the past, unless you have a time machine, you can't get to the past. You can't change the past to a degree. There's a Tao on that, or there's a DragonDog technique on the past. But for now, when we talk about the past, can you change? Can you over worrying about the past or overthinking about the past? It's just a waste of energy. You're just wasting your energy when we can only affect the now, the present moment. Again, if you're worrying about the future or angry about the future, about something in the future, again, unless you can actually do something about it, you're just wasting your energy, wasting your chi. So let's go on to that. So even if you do, either with the now or even with the past or the future, is there something that you can do about it? So if it's in the past or if it's in the future, the answer technically is no to a degree. I mean, if it's the future, obviously you can set things up and prepare for stuff, but then it gets up to a point where is there anything you should do? If the answer is no, then why worry? Why get angry about it? Why focus your time on it? Because there's nothing you can do. Now, if there is something you can do about it, then do what you need to. Don't worry about it. Just do so. Don't. In essence, if there is something in the future that is going to happen, and you have an opportunity to do something about it, then don't worry about it. Do what you need to do. Simple. Then we go on to this whole concept of what does worry do, or what does anger do? What does these negative emotions do within your body? So anger, worry, these in your body lead to anxiety. They lead to stress. So stress in the body naturally creates tension, because when you start worrying or get angry, or you start holding your breath, or you start tensing up the muscles, so it creates tension, which impedes blood flow. It impedes energy flow, chi flow within the body. So as you get more and more tense and more anxious, it physically affects your body. From that tension that leads to illness. So as we know, when we get more and more anxious, more and more stressed, we're more likely to get colds, we're more likely to be distracted and possibly injure ourselves. We're more likely to lead to illness. And illness leads to death, your demise. Well, we know, the medical, the medical philosophy or medical understanding knows, the medical profession, they know that when you are stressed, anxiety and stress does lead to illness. It does it in one way or the other. And when we are worried and stressed, we're actually more distracted, more likely to have an accident, more likely to make a mistake. So there is this pattern forming, this pattern creating from this worry or anger or this negative emotion, it builds up. Is that if you continue down that path, it's sort of like a domino effect. It sort of builds up and builds up more and more and more. And eventually leads to a big issue, a big problem. So this whole philosophy says, is there something you can do about the situation? If the answer is yes, do what you need to do. If the answer is no, then it's not going to resolve the situation. Are you worrying about, or are you focusing on the past? If there's nothing you can do there, move on. Or if there is something you can do, then do it. If you're worrying about the future, is there something you can do? Yes, then do it. If there isn't anything you can do, there's nothing you can do. So this whole understanding, again, is focusing on your health and well-being, focusing on what you can do now to enhance yourself for the future, enhance your well-being. So stress, anxiety, these feelings affect your physical, will affect your emotions, and therefore affect your physical reality. So quite simply, if you continue down that path, you lead to a dark side, you lead to your demise. Now, the philosophical side of this, the understanding side of this helps our consciousness. This helps us start to get reasons. Well, actually, why am I here? When you stop and think, you can let the illogical side in. So this is one part or one way of dealing with this, but also the whole point of breathing, because we always breathe. If we are human and we are alive, then we're breathing. So the breath, the way you breathe, affects the way you are, the way you think, and the way you feel. So this is another way that we can balance these emotions quite naturally without overthinking it in a logical way, by simply breathing. So as we're breathing slow and deep and flowing, our thoughts become more slow, deep, and flowing. Our actions become more slow, slow, deep, and flowing. So the whole idea is there is a connection here. There is a balance here, a balance of getting to that balance, to that Tao. So allowing yourself to breathe, allowing yourself to slow down, to stop, to take a moment, to be in that moment. It allows you to balance your health. It allows you to balance your personal way, your personal Tao. And then not just how you breathe, not just how you think, but how you do. So Qigong and Tai Chi, they have a whole philosophy of their own. Is that first, you learn these exercises to help you relax, to help you reduce that anxiety and stress, to help you reduce that fear and that worry or that anger. Eventually, you actually learn that these Qigongs, energizing exercise, breath work, these Qigongs can actually become part of your daily routine. So The way you walk can become a Qigong. The way you wash the dishes can become a Qigong. The way you drive can become a Qigong. Everything can become a Qigong. And this is where there is a saying I use a lot, joke that, there's a Qigong for that. Because the whole idea is that using these Qigong principles, these Daoist principles, and even Tai Chi principles, which Qigong is the grandfather of Tai Chi in essence. But using these set principles, you can actually make things more harmonious. And everything is a metaphor. The more times you get to act in this balance and act in a harmonious way and flow with your breath and flow with your movements and flow with your feelings as well as your thoughts, when you start doing this more and more and more, you're actually creating a natural balance. You're creating a natural wave. You're allowing a flow to be created. So the whole idea of there's Qigong for that, meaning that these Qigongs help you stay balanced more. And when you stay balanced more, then you flow more and you find your natural balance. So in essence, not only is there Qigong for that, there is a Tao for that. Everything has a Tao, has a way, a personal path. And everything through that personal Tao has, funny enough, a Qigong that helps you find that Tao. So the whole goal when it comes to stress and anger is that firstly, we have to notice that we're in it, that we're flowing in it. And that happens, if you can notice it yourself, hold up, I'm angry. And then you think of that poem, or I'm stressed, I'm fearful. And you think of that poem, is there something I can do about it right now? Whether it's the past, the future, or even the present, is there something I can do? And the answer is yes. Let's do it. Don't try. Don't think. Don't worry. Don't get angry. Do. In actual fact, that saying, the Yoda saying in Star Wars, because Star Wars was actually based a lot more on Daoist philosophy than anybody even realizes. George Lucas himself actually admitted it at one stage, saying that the Tao and the force is Qi. It is actually the flow, the idea of Qi, the concept of the force is the concept of Qi. And the whole idea of the dark and the light side of the force is the whole idea of the yin and the yang, the up and the down, the expanding and the contracting, the whole list of energies that the yin and the yang are, that when they become flowing together, when they ultimately are balanced, they become Tai Chi. And the whole Daoist philosophy, do not try, do was actually a Daoist saying. Don't try things, do what you need to do. So this whole concept of when you have these emotions is that when you notice yourself in them, you can say, right, is there something I can do about this situation? Is there nothing I can do about this situation? What's the answer? And then, right, also remember that negativity, worry, and stress will lead to tension in the body. That tension leads to illness within the body. That illness leads to your demise. And then with, like, say, the breathing techniques, with the Qigongs, energizing exercises, and there is another Qigong called Neigong, which is strengthening exercise, which is also Taoist yoga. And there's also Shengong, which is spiritual exercise, or basically meditation. But the whole idea is that you blend these three together, they all become. So all Qigongs have a stretching side to them, they have a meditational side to them, and they have an energetic side to them. So that is your meditation, your energy work, your Qigong, and your yoga, your stretching, your Daoist yoga. And when you have this balance, it allows you to balance your emotions, which allows you to balance your physical body, which allows you to balance your health and well-being, your consciousness, your spirit. So it's not just this idea of, the thought process of why worry or why get angry. There is also the physical techniques, and these physical techniques, again, like a dynamo effect and a domino effect, is that one leads to the other, and the other leads to the other. So there is the philosophy, there is the energy work, there is the breathing. All of these help ultimately you find your own personal way, your own personal path, your own personal Tao. Now, you may say, but does this really work, Boggie? Well, myself and a lot of my students are examples that it does. I mean, as a child, I was very much a warrior, very much was scared of things and thought about things. And I was bullied as a child. And even, I'll be open, even to the fact where I even got up to around about 10, 11, and up to almost 12, I tried to commit suicide. I was worrying so much about the world and was picked on for being different. And I, got to that point where I even tried to commit suicide. But because it was very sort of hidden, that it sort of went unchecked to a certain degree. But I realized that, and started to learn the Daoist philosophy. And there was this idea of, right, so you're in fear, you're worrying about this. Is this worry? Can you do something about it right now? And if the answer was yes, don't worry about it. Do what you need to. Is there nothing you do about it? Oh, then why worry? Because that worry leads to tension, leads to stress, and eventually leads to illness. So I learned how to actually flow with these energies and how to actually, in a way, control them better. Now, within the Taoist understanding, it's not saying that you shouldn't get angry and you shouldn't be worried or you should be fearful, but the whole point of, if it benefits you, then do what you need to. But if it doesn't benefit you, then find another way. So even within Taoism, there is a lot of Taoists, but there's one in particular, one Sifu in particular, Zhengzi. He very much, or some would say Cheng Tuz, as it is spelt TZE, but in China that TZE is Z, Zhengzi. So Zhengzi would say, your goal is to, flow with the Tao, is to be in peaceful and happy and content as much as possible. But if you do get stressed and angry and worried, do what you need to let it out. So the saying that exists, be like a child. So we'll think of be like a child, and a number of things within Taoism pops up is to be playful, is to have fun, is to see the awe and the wonder in the world, but also be like a child can also sometimes mean have a temper tantrum, get angry, is jump up and down, scream, primal screaming, let that stress out, because if you don't let it out, that worry, that anger leads to tension within the body. Tension or that stress, that anxiety leads to tension within the body. That tension will lead to physical illness, and that physical illness will eventually lead to your demise. So the whole idea, oh yes, do your breathing, do your energy exercises, do your stretching, do your meditation to allow you to let go of these negative energies. But if they do build up and they do overwhelm you, then give yourself a moment. Allow yourself to be angry for that moment. Allow yourself to be stressed for that moment. Allow yourself to be fearful for that moment. And there's a great saying that I've actually heard in a couple of movies as well, is that, you know, if you are fearful, if you are angry, then say to yourself, okay, for the next 5 minutes, I will allow myself to be, or allow myself to be angry, or allow myself to be scared, and allow yourself that moment, that opportunity to be in that energy. And then and what I used to do with the worry, if the qigong wasn't helping, the meditation wasn't helping, and then I would say, right, for the next 5 minutes, I'll allow myself to worry and really think about this thing, and I'll put a timer on, and when that timer went off, right, breathe, do another bit of qigong, now let it go. So the whole idea is that, yes, you have techniques, you have skills to let you not be affected by this, but if you are, this is how you do, this is what you do next, this is how you resolve it. And for me, that personally worked. That worked a lot, and I found needing those times where, well, okay, I need to set a timer and allow myself to worry, anger was not my thing, but I knew students who would get angry, and all. No, saying that, obviously, there have been moments I've been angry, but what happens is I get angry for that minute or for those couple of minutes, and then in my head a timer goes off, and I go and breathe, and I breathe in the chi, I breathe out the cha, and then I let the char go. I let it go and go back to finding that balance, finding that Tao. And like I say, with the breathing techniques, slowing down the breath, breathing in till I can't breathe in anymore, breathing out till I can't breathe out anymore, which is the water way. And it's a water way of breathing. So your breath is sort of like a wave. Breathe in all the way to the top, and then breathe out all the way to the bottom. And then when you get to the bottom, you breathe in back to the top again. So that breathing technique, that doing everything I do in a Qigong way, an energy exercise way, all of these techniques help me balance my Tao, help me stay less in these extreme emotions and find more calming ones to be flowing into balance. And not only has it worked for me, this technique, so that philosophy, that poem, the Qigong, the breath work, all of these combined, not only has it worked for me, but it's worked for an awful lot of my students. So they have found that where they used to get stressed more, doing these techniques has helped them a lot more. And practice makes perfect, funny enough. So the more you do it on a day-to-day basis, the more it becomes a habit. And that habit then goes into the subconscious side of you and can happen more easily, more readily. So the whole idea is to balance your Tao, is to balance your way, your path, your balance. So hopefully this has made a little bit of sense to you. Hopefully this has, helped you understand about, how the Tao deals with worry and stress and anxiety. There's a Qigong for that, as I am often heard to say. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. If you are interested in meditation, Daoist breathing, Daoist Qigong, you can find me on Linktree under Sifu Boggie. You can also find me on Instagram, on YouTube. even on Facebook. On Facebook, my page is The Way of Conscious Mindfulness. That is the podcast show. You can find me on there. You can also find me on YouTube under Sifu Boggie, SIFU BOGGIE. You can find me on Instagram under Sifu.Boggie. You can also find me on Discord, and on Discord, I am Sifu Boggie's Chi Tribe community. And we have a whole free community where we have all different subjects, not just Qigong and Tai Chi, but we also talk about other things as well: lucid dreaming, UFOs, fairies, tarot readings, and many other techniques. And that's also from the Chi tribe, the open community, that is also connected to the Shun Dao school, and that is also on Patreon under Sifu Boggie. So if you're interested, have a look at these different places, but you'll also find the links down below on this podcast. So that's it for now. So until next time, it is love, chi, and Jen from me, Sifu Boggie. And until next time, remember, open your mind to the conscious way, the way of conscious mindfulness. Bye for now.